Hey y'all, welcome back to Correctional Junkie, the podcast where we talk all things correctional healthcare from the inside out. I'm your host, Nurse B, and this is episode 23. On today's episode, we're going to talk about Edmund Kemper, the co-ed killer. When you hear the word serial killer, most of us picture a man lurking in the shadows, a stranger you never trust. But what about someone who looks like your friendly neighbor, who talks like a college professor, and who police officers once considered a gentle giant? Today, we're diving into the chilling case of Edmund Emil Kemper III, better known as the co-ed killer, a man whose charm and intelligence hid some of the darkest acts imaginable. And trust me, this is the one case where reality is stranger and more terrifying than fiction. Early in life and first murders. Born 1948 in Burbank, California. A dysfunctional home, an abusive mother, emotionally cold, banished to the basement. Early disturbing signs. Decapitated his sister's dolls, killed animals, obsessed with death. See, in corrections, we see a pattern here. Childhood trauma, abuse, and the early warning signs that are too often brushed off. What do we do when a child shows cruelty to animals or fascination with violent death? Too often, nothing is done. And those behaviors don't disappear. They escalate, y'all. At 15, he killed his grandparents with a rifle. And then he was committed to Atascadero State Hospital, y'all. They diagnosed him as intelligent with an IQ of 145. Did you hear that? An IQ at 15 of 145. Manipulative and dangerous, but released at 21 to his mother's custody, y'all. Now, 1972 to 1973, Santa Cruz, California. The area is plagued by multiple serial killers at the time. You got Herbert Mulling, John Lindley Frazier. Kemper's victims were young female hitchhikers, often students at UC Santa Cruz. His method: pick them up, kill, gun, a knife, or strangulation. He would dismember them, or necrophilia. He would take their heads home as trophies, y'all. Now picture this. You're a 19-year-old college student in the 70s. Thumbing a ride on the highway one. A huge man in a car pulls over, smiling, polite, well-spoken. At 6'9", that's super tall. Ed Kemper seemed almost protective, like someone who would keep you safe. But once those doors shut, your fate was sealed. Fear spread. Women warned against hitchhiking. Now, through the correctional lens, here's the thing. Kemper didn't look like a monster. That's the danger. We want monsters to be obvious. But evil hides in plain sight, y'all. And law enforcement dismissed survivors' warnings because they assumed the killer must be a man of a certain type. They let the real predator keep hunting. So in April of 1973, he murdered his mother, Clarnell, hammered to the head, decapitated. Then he killed our best friend Sally the next morning. Then he left town and confessed it by phone in Colorado. Y'all listening to this? His entire life, every single victim in between, was leading up to that night. The mother who abused him, belittled him, degraded him, she became the center of his rage. And once she was dead, the killing stopped. This was one of the clearest cases of how unsolved family trauma can mutate into something deadly. Now, he confessed in detail, chilling calmness. He was convicted of 8 counts of murder in 1973. Now hear this? He was brilliant, articulated, and manipulative. Today he's called a model prisoner, yet utterly remorseless about his crimes. And what he says is, when I see a pretty girl walking down the street, I think two things. One part of me wants to take her out and to talk to her. The other part wonders what her head would look like on a stick. Yeah, what does that say? What does that say? This man is uncurable, okay? Uncurable. I mean, this quote isn't just shock value. It shows how someone can live with dual identities. Polite on the outside, homicidal on the inside. As correctional staff, we see inmates who can flip this switch instantly. It's a reminder to never underestimate what someone is capable of. And this is true. I, Nurse B, had an opportunity to work with this serial killer. Y'all hear me? And let me tell you, he was just as humble, just as nice, just as polite. Yes. And he is 6'9", y'all. Big old hands. I mean, very nice man. Very nice. You wouldn't see it coming, you hear me? You wouldn't see it coming. If you didn't know the story, right? If you didn't know who you was already dealing with, y'all. You hear me? You wouldn't see it coming. Do you hear me? And you heard the quote yourself. When I see a pretty girl walking down the street, I think two things. One part of me wants to take her out to talk to her, but the other part wonders what her head would look like on a stick. Don't underestimate the person. Now, we're in corrections, so that tell you a whole lot. This man's still in corrections, y'all. Okay, he got a life sentence. He is very well alive, okay? He is very well alive. You hear me? Very well alive. That tells you two things. Tells you a lot. That we deal with people in corrections every day. And a lot of them play face with us. All the time. They are very nice. Right? Until they don't get what they want. Right? And then we see the switch. Right? And y'all know what I mean. We see the switch. And it's like, what just happened? Right? Nice on the outside, homicidal on the inside. That part. Nice on the inside, on the outside, homicidal on the inside. Some express it verbally. Others don't. They internalize it. So don't underestimate these people. Period. In this world we live in, whether we incarcerated or not. Because Edmund Kemper, he's locked up. But how many Edmund Kempers are walking around? Right? They haven't been caught. Correct? Because they have a mother that was like his mother. So he hate women. Think about that. Now, I want y'all to also think about the fact that you also live in these neighborhoods where you hear conversations around you and you see things around you going on in your neighborhoods with other families. Your children go to school with other children that have conversations, and your children come home to try to tell you things. So I need some of you parents to pay attention to what your children are saying to you. Because see, some of y'all shut y'all children down too quick. Stop shutting your children down and let your children talk. Because sometimes kids have really important things to tell y'all that happen at school with other children, but because y'all so quick to tell them it's not they business, you might want to know what it is that they're trying to tell you. Because psychopaths start at their little ages. They don't start when they get grown, y'all. Do you hear me? Because Edmund Kemper was 15 years old when he killed his grandparents. Do you understand that language? 15 with a rifle. 15. And he was a little boy when he was killing the family pets and decapitating the sister dolls. So he didn't start it when he was 15 doing that. He was a little boy doing that. So listen to your children. Let them talk. You don't always have to respond, but y'all need to learn to listen and take notes. Just listen and let them ramble. Just let them talk. Only interject when you hear something that you need to interject on. Because kids don't always know when it's something of importance. But you're the adult. You do. You do. Because the one thing that kids are good at doing, y'all, is telling everything that go on at home to other children. They're good at that. They're good at it. They will come to school and tell you what happened at their house. Okay? So please, let your children talk to y'all and tell you what is going on with another child. You might save somebody else's child's life. Because Edmund Kemper, you heard the story. You heard how it started, and you heard how it ended. You heard the results of it. This don't start when he got grown, y'all. This is real. This is very real. And trust me, there are more Edmund Kempers out there. They're born every day. Every day. Because there is a mother out there doing the exact same thing to her son. And that son is hating her. That son. That maternal abuse is real. So I hope that this episode of Correctional Junkie gave you something to think about, something to share with a colleague. Subscribe wherever you listen, whether it's on YouTube, on Spotify, on iHeart. Continue to listen in. This is real. This is to help our community, to reach out to others. Until next time, keep showing up, keep standing strong, keep doing this work that matters.